So we're gonna have a brief presentation about Transcelestial. So just give everyone a little bit of intro of what we are as a company. And we're gonna quickly jump into a panel with two gentlemen here who are absolute supporters of Transcelestial and stuff. So we'll quickly jump into that like in 10 minutes. So we'll start with this quick video. So what you're seeing on the screens here are basically a very early sneak preview of one of the most confidential things we have been working on for years in Transcelestial. It's our space network. It's a constellation we are developing. There's still a lot of things which are under wraps. There's lots of stuff we are doing in the background. But we'll be announcing a bunch of things in the next couple of months around this and the capabilities we can bring from orbit. So more on that later. Okay, so we are here to talk about our company's mission, which is solving civilization's long-term communication needs. It's very important to just briefly touch upon what Transcelestial's values are as a company. And what we are really looking forward today is how can we help improve connectivity experience for 1 billion users globally. Like all Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we feel that connectivity is also a human right, and it's something that we all need to kind of work on to improve our lives. So Transcelestial sees the current problem in 3 phases. One, you have these massive undersea cables which sit and connect massive continents. There's huge costs and huge infrastructure problems in laying these across. Second, once these cables, how do you get it connected to cities and bring these backhaul to not only tier 1 cities, but tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities, towns, villages. And finally, what we call last mile or urban connectivity. How do you then distribute that between buildings and cell towers, enterprise locations, consumers? So we roughly divide the world into 3 issues. And today, what Transcelestial's, most of the technology that's available commercially for people to buy is around how working on solving last mile or urban connectivity challenges. So what you see typically is a traditional way of doing things where you take from a core network and you expand into edge DCs, 5G, 4G networks, and expand. It's typically very CapEx and OpEx intensive. And what Transcelestial's way is, how can we make this into a wireless fiber experience, right? So you don't need spectrum, just plug and play, and you can build rapidly networks and communities up online. So today, what's commercially available is Centauri. It provides 1 and 10 gigabit per second. It's state of the art in terms of competing wireless technologies that's out today in the market. It's spectrum free in every country that we are there in, and it's available today. Just last year, we have shipped hundreds of these to all of our clients. And we'll show a quick video of where the sausage is being made. Okay, so that's our factory in Singapore. we have the largest capacity today. We can churn out around 2,500 of these devices annually, and we are on our way to kind of doubling and tripling that capacity in the next couple of years. But what we want to announce today at MWC is 2 new capabilities that we are bringing to market this year. And this is available this year starting next quarter. The first one is our new product, which is hybrid RF and laser. This product is available today for pre-orders. This allows for telco-grade network availability of 5 nines at up to 3 kilometers. And the second product that we are launching today is an industry first. This is 25 gigabits per second wirelessly over a multi-kilometer distance. It's the world's fastest spectrum-less wireless laser communication device. And it's not available a year or 2 years down the line. It's available today for orders, and we'll be able to start shipping this in Q2. Our footprint today spans across our home region, which is South Asia, and India and a few places around Asia. So India, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and few other Southeast Asia countries is where we are the strongest. We also have a footprint in Oceania, so Australia, New Zealand, and various Pacific islands. And just recently, a month ago, we decided to enter the US market to address the broadband gap in the US market. So that's North America first. We also have an extensive partner network we deliver through these partners. So you have full level 1 to level 3 support. You have folks who can do 24 to 48 hour turnarounds and deliver these services to you on our product. And finally, I just wanted to show and provide a segue into 2 of our most strongest supporters in Southeast Asia, Globe Telecom. So these are examples of projects we've done with Globe, even in some of the biggest typhoon-like conditions a few years back. And YTL. And these are some examples of projects we've done with YTL. And now, without wasting more time, I would like to call on Ernest and Wing onto the stage, and we'll just talk a bit about your experience and what future holds. Gentlemen. Yeah. Morning, both of you. Thank you so much for coming, and I really appreciate all the help and support you guys have provided to Transcelestial over the years. Between both of you, your teams support and provide internet for almost 150 million people in both countries. What are some key network challenges that you guys and your teams see today across consumer and enterprise segments? And then broadly in 2023, what does Globe and YTL see for the rest of the year?
Well, maybe I can start. For us, it's always been deployment, right? Right of way, permits, and so on and so forth. It's a very, very challenging regime in the Philippines when it comes to that because of the fragmented LGU or local government unit requirements. There was a point in time when in the Philippines, to put up a cell site, we would need 28 permits for every cell site. And the turnaround would be anywhere from 6 months to a year to build all that. And that's why when this, by the way, just to caveat, we're investors in Transcelestial as well through our Kickstart Ventures venture capital firm. So you just take the grain of salt if it's biased a bit, sure. Right? But what we can tell you is that when we try to solve the problem through wireless communication, the timeliness of being able to deliver to our customers using wireless, in this case laser, I think is a very, very good capability. There's also going to be issues in our country where we are a archipelago, 7,000 plus islands. Not every community can be connected via backhaul through fiber. Yeah. Not even microwave at times could be there because it's the cost factor or the distance factors, yeah. And the tower requirements of a microwave. That's not necessarily the solution for everything. That's why we decided that looking at lasers would be a possibility. So it's always time to deployment, Rohit, if you ask. Of course, with the cost ratio involved, yeah. Because we have a lot of smaller communities dispersed all over the Philippines, right? Yeah. And and if we could get it to longer range, that would be even better, right? Than 3 kilometers.
Well, my name is Wayne with YTL Communications from Malaysia. Unlike Ernest, Ernest is my big brother. He's got a much more established network in the Philippines. We are quite young. We are the youngest national telco in Malaysia. We only launched our service 10 years ago. And because we're so young, and the fiber reach in Malaysia is a bit limited, so when we built our 4G network, we use microwave extensively. The problem with microwave is that it oftentimes runs into congestion, especially in cities and urban areas where you need capacity the most. So we've been looking for innovations that can help relieve our congestion. At the same time, give us ability to have more flexibility when it comes to deployment. To Ernest's point, they are challenging with local authority issues. In Malaysia, we're no different. In many places, it takes around 6 months to even get approval to start the civil engineering work. So that's no way to serve customers. So we believe that if we can bring in new innovations such as laser comm that can outrun existing technology with more capacity and high reliability, then why not?
It's awesome. Thanks, guys. This is fantastic. So, Ernest, as you mentioned, you guys are investors, and we've had working relationships even before the investment since the very early days. Today, we are deployed across Visayas and Mindanao, across the 2G and the 4G cell towers there, providing backhaul. With new technologies like a 25 gigabit per second that's coming out, this year, how do you see Transcelestial helping with Globe's mission? I know there's a huge push within the Globe organization to just get everyone equitable internet connectivity and stuff. So how do you see some of these new technologies coming out helping?
No, I think it's not only the 25G we're excited about, but also the LEO if it succeeds, right?
Yeah.
As you know, SpaceX or Starlink just launched in our country. But for us, that is a very high-end consumer product. We have issues selling fiber at 1,200 pesos. The entry cost of Starlink is 27,000 pesos plus 2,700 a month. So we don't think it's really going to be a mass market product. However, there are requirements for backhaul satellite, like what you're going to be doing, hopefully cheaper than VSAT, right? And so if that can be made to happen, that a LEO-based product that's B2B, right, that's really built for backhaul, that could be very, very interesting. For the 25G product, I think it's, again, a time to market and time to deploy for customers. We have enterprises that require connectivity from us. Unfortunately, like I said, laying the fiber either aerial or underground is going to take a lot of time. So expanding that reach from 10 to 25 gigabit, I think is going to be a fantastic, it's fantastic progress. No?
Yeah, appreciate it. And Wing, YTL is known for trialing some of the most innovative wireless technologies, most example being Penang and Georgetown, where you guys trialed the millimeter wave teragraph technologies. We have been working the last 1 year trialing stuff in Pangkor Laut and some of those places, and now we are working on various projects with you guys on national broadband and cellular areas and stuff. So how do you see us scaling with you guys this year? I know the ambitions are massive. I know we can't talk much about what's happening this year in that sense, but where do you see us kind of helping both our ground and space products and stuff?
As the youngest network, as you've heard, we are the youngest and one of the most modern network in Malaysia. Certainly, we have to outrun the other existing incumbents, and the only way to outrun the existing incumbents is to have more tools than they have. That's why we always look out for new tools. Teragraph is one, LaserComm is another amazing new tool. And one thing that we were very impressed by LaserComm was that you mentioned Pangkor Laut. Pangkor Laut actually is a beautiful island in Malaysia. For those that have not visited Malaysia, that's our resort. In fact, you should go to, it's shameless plug, but ytlhotels.com. Then you can check out our hotel properties. Pangkor Laut is our signature resort. It's 2.5 kilometers over the water across from the mainland. So being an island, we only were able to serve using microwave as backhaul. And the link is congested, it's only 500 meg. So we want to deliver superior guest experience. After all, this is our signature property. You can't give people Wi-Fi that's only 5 meg, right? This is embarrassing. So we have to give people superior experience. And we believe that relieving the backhaul to open up the network experience for everyone is crucial. 100%. So we tested out when I heard from the Transcelestial team that they can carry 3 km. That's over the land. So I thought, okay, let's test it over the water because nothing we can do. This is an island. We cannot relocate the island, right? So we tested over the water. As you know, water a lot of refraction and humidity is high. So there was a very interesting stress test scenario for us.
Great test scenario.
And it passed it with flying colors. So that's why we were quite convinced. And obviously, we found out that Ernest was investing. So I said, okay, this is legit.
I just want to add, no, I mean, when you give connectivity to the fringes,
Yeah.
I think it's very, very critical for a company like ours as well that goes beyond telco, because we also operate the largest e-wallet in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And
GCash.
GCash, no, with 76 million now and growing. But without connectivity, there's no GCash, right? You know,
Yeah.
our second venture that's scaling now is health tech.
Yeah.
E-consultations, giving Filipinos access to healthcare through digital as well. But again, with no connectivity, there is no health
There
tech.
is no healthcare.
Right? And so this is very important to help us connect the last and the most needy
Absolutely.
Yeah.
for about these services, right? And these islands in the Philippines. And hopefully with your success there, we can mimic that in connecting the smaller islands, the smaller communities, and also for tourism, which the Philippines, I think, rivals Malaysia in terms of beauty, right? And so maybe we can build these connectivity across the resorts and the Philippines.
Absolutely. You touched a bit about our space network a bit, and we saw a sneak preview earlier. Of course, you guys are partners. You know a lot more of what's been happening in the last 1 or 2 weeks compared to what's publicly out there. It's a lot of work we are doing in that area rapidly now this year. So most of the time, people don't realize what's the jump going to be. We're talking about hundreds of gigabits and terabits being able to drop from orbit, right? And within the next 1.5 years timeline. So how does that change, especially like the archipelago connectivity and the amount you guys are spending on undersea cables to just get that going? And same for Malaysia. I think massive landmass, East and West Malaysia. So we'd just love to hear some thoughts from you guys on that.
Well, you know, I guess with 7,000 islands, right? It's
Yeah.
going to be impossible to put fiber everywhere. We just spent a few $100 million once again to do another inter-island submarine system, and we can't do it for every island. That's why it's very exciting for me to have something like this. You know, because today our backhaul of last resort is VSAT,
Yeah.
right? But we all know it's very costly. It's very limited
Yeah.
in terms of speed. But if you can really truly deliver on the promise of Leo, right?
Yeah.
For that particular application, I think it'd be benefit the whole world actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, everyone's going after digital economy,
Yeah.
right? After the pandemic, everyone's on a race, mad race across countries. Who can digitize faster, better? And to Ernest's point, digitalization is about inclusivity.
Yeah.
We can't just digitize folks in the city and leave those in the rural behind. So exactly to GCash's point, which is everyone needs to participate in the digital economy. We are also following again Ernest's footsteps. We are launching digital bank next year. So we will also do the same thing to drive financial inclusivity in Malaysia. But before all this could happen, you must have solid connectivity. Now, there are two challenges with fiber today, at least in the context of Malaysia. Number one, the fiber reach is limited.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to extend the fiber reach. Number two, fiber oftentimes get cut because we don't have strong local regulatory framework to call before you dig. Is a new concept, right? It's
So
prevalent
ownership
in
is also not transparent.
Exactly. So when there's a fiber kick, it takes 3 days, maybe even longer sometimes, to restore. So I don't think fiber is a panacea.
Yeah.
I think we need multiple tools, and raining laser from the sky is a fantastic tool because what that means is that number one, you eliminate a lot of the exposure when it comes to service cuts.
Yeah.
The other is that you're able to blanket connectivity to the most challenging aspect of the country's geography, and that it's a game changer to improve humanity.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time. I'm going to throw a very fun last question. You guys are here in Mobile World Congress this week. Are there any, apart from obviously laser comms, are there any exciting technologies you're looking forward to learn more about here? Or you're personally interested to see?
Well, Globe is entering the electric vehicle space in terms
Yep.
of charging, and so I saw a few things here that I'm interested in. So I'm going to go check that out. I saw STC featuring the Lucid Air, which is a fantastic vehicle, and Segway's got a competing product to ours. Ours is called Gogoro from Taiwan that we've launched this year, and hopefully we can again win in that market as well.
Yeah, great innovation.
Okay, Jacob, we should work on EV charging.
Yeah, I
No,
think YTL has a massive
actually,
EV charging.
Yeah, we're doing that in Singapore, actually. Yeah, thank you very much for picking that up. Very exciting for us is private network, private 5G. So we've launched 5G in Malaysia. We now have around 50% population coverage of 5G. It's growing rapidly. The performance is very high. And one thing that really captures our imagination and excitement is to use 5G to empower industries.
Yeah.
And 5G is a fantastic proposition for consumers, but I believe that it's a game changer for industries, especially when it comes to IR 4.0, the integration of AI and robotics into the factory line, into cargo ports and so on.
Yeah.
But for that, you also need high performance, high secured network.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to deploy private 5G, for example, to a cargo port, imagine we can have the flexibility of laser comm without having to again spend 6 months to get permitting to trench fiber. That's a game changer to enable industries throughout the country.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Please, let's give a round of applause to our folks here. Thank you so much for coming in on your time. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's do it.